the old school of your number 2 hitter being a bunch.
Yeah, that's completely gone by the wayside. I mean, it started with the major leagues, right? Like you kind of had, those high OPS guys suddenly at the top of the order, no matter where they could run or bunt or anything. They were just there because they could theoretically be on base or generate runs.
Cam Crawford at the plate now.
All right, I think we have once again kind of put this all back together. This is again kind of like I said, Coach Myers and I had some issues with the Wi-Fi at Westwood Park as well, and now I think we're back and rolling with my phone as the hotspot.
Until your phone dies.
Yeah, well, there is that, but just hope that Morton Junior High wants to pay my bill this month if we start really rolling through the data. There is a fly ball into left field. It gets down, base hit for Cam.
Actually, that was a pretty hard hit line drive, and that pitch was almost over Cam's head. I mean, he just hunts fastballs, and he finally got a fastball. And even though it was a high out of the strike zone, he just tomahawked it to left field for a single.
So, yeah, I'm doing a lot of work here now. But I think we're good. We got a couple texts that we did go out, but I think we're back now. So appreciate those folks who are letting us know.
Apologize for that. I hate that you missed all those runs, but so we got runners on first and second now with 1 out. You got to remember that you can't see the scoreboard nor the whole field, so we got to be more descriptive. Potter's up 7.
No, and Potters have a chance to add some more here.
Owen Adams at the plate. Owen's due for a line drive right here.
That away, O-Dog.
So again, folks, if you are listening at home and you're talking to somebody else who knows that we lost our feed for a while, let them know we're back and good to go here.
All right, man.
Fastball in the inside part. Makes it 2 balls and 1 strike.
And again, we're sorry if you missed a bunch of runs, but you know what? Potters are still doing a great job, still up 7-0, and trying to extend the lead right here with Owen Adams at the plate.
All right, bud. Here we go.
Owen went after one, maybe just a little bit low there. Couldn't tell if that was a change-up fastball or a curveball. From here, it's hard to tell.
Yeah, well, and I think, obviously we talked about it, right? Babs was a harder thrower. I mean, he struggled to throw strikes at times. Looks like Simon Malcolm maybe is not quite the velocity, maybe changing it up a little bit, trying to use, it almost looks like a sharper breaking pitch, maybe?
Yeah, I think his breaking ball is more like a slider, number 1. And number 2, he's thrown more strikes so far, which is really, you got to do that.
So Malcolm will set and deliver, and that one is a base hit for Owen Adams. That is a really hard hit ball, going to be hard to score a runner, and Coach Crawford will wisely put up the stop sign there.
I don't want to say anything, but I think I just said he's due for a line drive, didn't I?
You did.
That's a pitcher's pitch.
Well, like you said, Simon Malcolm definitely has thrown more strikes. He definitely doesn't have the velocity. You can understand why they tried to go Babs first, but strikes are, to me, the number one thing when you're looking for a pitcher.
Taylor hit a line drive single to left center field his last at bat. The Potters would take one more just like that for sure.
Here comes 1-1. That one is down, 2-1.
Smart. Go.
2-1 to Camden. That's going to be 3-1, so he's in a great hitter's count right now.
Well, you can just see from body language, the Potters have relaxed. You got a 7-run lead. There's a lot of confidence there down that valley. Just looks like they're in trouble, obviously, but it kind of shows by the body language.
3-1 pitch. That is ball 4. So we're complimenting him for throwing more strikes, and then he walks in a run. So I'll call myself out for being wrong, and maybe that'll make the folks at home not think we're getting too full of ourselves here.
At least one of us isn't, right?
Fair enough. 8-0 though. 8-0 in the top of the third. Again, Potter's just rolling right now.
Just pouring it on now. The base is loaded, 1 out. Alex McKee up. That fastball is right on it, but just underneath it a little bit.
Come on, bud. You got it.
The Potters just put so much pressure on the defense, pitcher and the defense. We've had 1 strikeout is all so far.
McKee will take that one 0-2.
Good pitch. Good pitch.
Again, that's a good pitch, but
pitch.
I got a lot of confidence in Alex that he can put the ball in play and battle here, even down 0-2.
Come on, babe.
That one's a bit outside, 1-2. Good take.
That's a good pitch by the pitcher. Just keep going a little bit further outside. Number 1, see if he'll swing at it. Number 2, see if the umpire will call it. That's a good pitch.
There's a
Oh,
curveball.
that's a
That one
good
is a
pitch also.
good curveball for strike, so that'll be strike 3.
Completely fooled him there. That was a
Yeah.
good curveball for strike 3. It's a big out for the Spartans.
Sammy Hare step into the plate now.
Come on, baby.
Some runs here to be had still for the Potters. Granted, up 8-0, but you're happy. You want to keep scoring, and I mean, again, maybe that 15 after 3 is overly optimistic, but you definitely want to try to get to 10 after 5.
Just don't let anybody hang around.
Yeah.
Get it done as soon as you can. Bases loaded.
That one is down low, 2-0.
Now you look for your spot. Hitters count for sure.
Simon Malcolm winds and delivers, and 3-0 now to Sammy.
I would be very, very surprised if Sammy swung at this pitch.
Yes, I would absolutely think that this is the take situation, especially because those other 3 weren't particularly close either. And that one was closer, but still not a strike. And so give Sammy an RBI as he'll walk to first. Potter's now up 9-0.
Well, and to be fair, I think it was me that actually said he was throwing strikes more, and he was. But since we've said that, he struggled to find the strike zone. Now we get the number 9 hitter up with a 9-0 lead. The base is still loaded.
And that one is going to be in there for a strike. So first pitch is a strike to Gil Pochard.
Gil's the one strikeout victim the Potters have had so far. I'm sure he'd like to make up for that with a RBI single here.
That one is going to be there for a strike as well. So 0-2. He dropped in the curveball. I mean, that's got to be frustrating as a hitter, right? The guy's all over the place. Then you step up there and you get a fastball in the corner and a curveball for a strike.
Suddenly you can throw strikes against you, right?
And there is going to be strike 3. And so Potters add another. It's 9-0 after 2.5. So again, you're not really worried if you're the Potters, but you're just looking to try to get to that 10 run if you can.
That was another good curveball. That guy's got a much sharper curveball, and he throws it for a strike.
Cameron Crawford back to the mound, and he has been just locked in today. 6 in a row, retired. He'll face 7, 8, 9 here. And you mentioned it earlier, though. I mean, it hasn't necessarily been a huge factor so far, but just the Potters' defense as a pitcher, you got to feel really confident when you know you've got those guys behind you.
For sure. And, if there's any negative, the Potters have had every inning's been a long inning, so Cam's had a lot of time between pitches.
That is a great point, though, in all honesty.
Like, when you're 13 years old or whatever, 14, you can
probably excited just to get back out there.
You get loose pretty quick.
Yeah.
Take them long. It's a nice day.
Yeah, I mean, it couldn't really ask for better weather, really.
No. If it were 47 degrees, like a lot of our games are early in the season, it's a little different when you're trying to stay warm. But
yeah, I was going to say one thing, don't get me wrong, I wish we would have had a more complete season this year as opposed to having to start a month later than usual. But I will not complain about the fact that I'm not sure I wore the heavy jacket at all this year.
No, it's some of the games we play, and it's worse at other levels. I know Division II college baseball, they have games in early February, and then they're done by early May. I'm like, what? Why?
Yeah, that's not the way baseball's supposed to work.
And school's still going, so I don't understand how that works, but nobody asked my opinion.
If they would just consult us.
Cam pouring in a strike to start the bottom of the third. Potters up 9-0.
Cam will set and deliver. And that one is bit outside, 1-1.
And he's keeping the ball down. If you miss down, that's where you want to miss.
This is Jackson Steffen at the plate for Dunlap. Again, 7, 8, 9 in the Spartan lineup this inning. There's a strike from Cam, 1-2 now.
You might see a curveball here, but we'll see.
Fastball, and it'll be strike 3.
That was the right pitch.
Well, like you said, I mean, again, no, you can use it a little bit. Up 9-0. You don't want to fall too much in love with it because you just want to pound the zone and keep your team where you're at. And obviously, again, Cam just looking really good so far today. So number 8 hitter, Josh Diethenfaller, he's the designated hitter today. I had a coach, now the 8 spot, I think he was okay with it, but I had a coach who, whenever he saw DH in the 9 spot, would question that because he felt like if they're designated to hit, why are they hitting 9th? I guess my logic would be they're still better than the guy they're hitting 4, but
I guess what I would say is if you're the guy being DH 4, that kind of hurts a little bit.
Because that's fair too. Look at it from that angle. That is a strike there, so Cam was down 2-0. Now he gets the strike in there, 2-1.
Well, you kind of see, and this is what makes the Potters so unique. At the top of the order, the Dunlap was able to put the bat in the ball, look pretty good. At the bottom of the order, they're struggling to kind of make contact.
Yeah.
Potters just don't have that problem. Up down the line, they just hit the ball.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fantastic point. You look at them, I mean, truly, you said it earlier, there is no break. I mean, your break if you're pitching against the Potters is when you get back in the dugout.
Yeah.
And it might be after you've given up 5 runs. That one is fouled back, still 2-2.
Coach Bates typically has the responsibility of calling the pitches, but in some situations, Coach Crawford will assert himself a little bit. Oh, good pitch.
That was a really solid pitch. That was almost not quite as much as last time, but you could still tell the hitter thought maybe he was rung up.
I'm not sure how he took it, but he did, and he
Yeah,
was right.
That's one of those where I feel like I would have definitely been swinging. That's one of the ones I know. I feel like sometimes, you try to say something as a coach, you don't really want to get on an umpire. One of my favorite ones is I would have swung.
Yeah. Well, and there's a kind of a theory afoot.
That one is grounded toward third base. McKee is up with it, and he's across the diamond to retire Ethan Thaler.
There's a move afoot in baseball now that I don't really agree with, but there's a theory that says on like a 3-2 pitch, if it's close, just let it go. If it's a tough pitch to hit, so you're better off just taking your chance. The umpire will call the ball than trying to do something with it. But I think he also could foul that pitch off. I don't know. I hate to see a guy take a strike three with the bat in their shoulder.
I mean, I feel like I'm in your camp 100%. Let me say that first. I guess you could maybe argue at the major league level where, let's be honest, you have more consistency in the way the game is called.
Sure.
But I feel like, especially at the high school, junior
Good
high
point.
level, you better be swinging.
Good point. This is Al Kyer at the plate now, right?
Yes, it is. Yep.
I think I played softball with probably his grandfather. That's how old I am.
Yep. Brett Alkire, he's in left field today. So Cam trying to go 9 up, 9 down if he can retire Alkire here. That one is a bit up, 1-2.
Cam.
1-2 is on the way from Cam. Curveball, and that'll be strike 3. That was a great curveball. Hitter backs out because he thinks it's going to hit him, and it drops right in.
It's not fair to the number 9 hitter to throw a curveball like that. That's a good pitch.
Hey, you just
Now we're not in the dugout, so we can mention this. So if the Potter score here would be, we'd get the 10-run rule in place, and then you start thinking about the fact that Cam's got a perfect game at this point.
That is a good point. That is a really good point. That's a tough one as a coach because you start thinking about that. It's like, do I want to get him out? Do I want to rest him? But also, I would leave him in at that point.
He hasn't thrown very many pitches yet, so I think there's probably no question at this point. Let him keep going. The other thing is, even though we've got a very comfortable lead, you just never want to let a team hang around. If you can put them at the end of the game, you want to do it. And
with you there 100%. That's
I know what if this were a game in the middle of the regular season, maybe you don't run the situation, but if Potters get men on base, I expect to see them running.
Yeah.
I think it's understood. You do all you can to get the game over.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely right. I think in a postseason game is the one time where nobody should take offense if you're being overly aggressive, trying to some would say trying to quote unquote run up the score, but it's not really that. It's the realization that you never know what's going to happen in baseball, and you want to get home with a W, and in this case your sectional plaque.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And again, maybe like we said, doing the math on it with the number of time that the Potters have off, it's not as much a pitch count issue. But I would say if it was, especially the high school season, when sometimes you're playing sectional Thursday and in sectional final on Saturday, you also keep that pitch count in mind. If you're trying to get to 10, just to make sure you have a pitcher maybe available later, in the next round or whatever it might be.
Well, for whatever reason, the things we've been saying make sense, but Alex McKee's warming up in the bullpen, so I don't know if there's a pitch count issue, or if they just want to get maybe the other thing you might think about is has it been a while since Alex has pitched?
That's a good point
you want
too.
to get him some innings before you have to use him on Friday or Saturday to state tournament. So there's a lot of things coaches have to think about beyond just what makes sense to the average, sort of spectator.
And I will tell you, I was extremely impressed with Alex when I saw him pitch earlier this year. So, just came in, worked extremely quickly, which I love, and just pounded the strike zone.
So once again, Potters come to the plate with a rocket foul ball. Isaac Benders has crushed that one just a little ahead of it.
Isaac will foul that one off. It's going to be right behind the dugout here. Bounces harmlessly on the cement pad.
We are in need of a game ball, so it's coming in from the bullpen. So where did you find a mango Pepsi?
So, you know, the mango Pepsi is available at Walmart. Like I said, I'm doing commercials now, apparently. But, you know, I like a little flavor if I have soda. And they have mango and lime, I noticed. The lime is harder to find, so I just went with the mango.
Interesting. I've got to try that. Although I'm trying to stay away from soda.
So it is.
Good pitch.
Oh,
his curveball
curveball's been good. I mean, when he's throwing for a strike, which I guess is, I mean, maybe true of every pitch. But I mean, some guys can throw the for a strike, and it's still very hittable. His curveball.
The last, you know, inning, last 4 or 5 outs, he's been able to throw that pitch for a strike. He's got 2 strikeouts with it, so that's it's effective.
So Simon Malcolm has come in, and he hasn't exactly shut the Potters down, but he's been more effective than the Dunlap Valley starter was.
Yeah, his only issue really has been not throwing strikes sometimes. He hasn't been hit very hard.
So Andy Ballard at the plate. Potters up 9-0 here. Andy will ground that one toward first base, and as a base hit, as it gets through there, a little hard to see from our angle at times, but he gets the ball into that hole. I would call it the 3-4 hole between first and second.
Solid base hit, single all the way, and even if somehow the second baseman were able to dive and get to it, which he couldn't, there's no way to throw him Ballard out in that one. So that's a base hit all the way.
Yeah, with Andy's speed, and we talk about running, I got to believe he's running early.
He's going, yep.
Spartans wisely trying to keep him close.
And the only reason you would consider not doing it is because you got your 3 or 4 hitters up. But in this situation before, we ran, so I would expect we'll do it again. And Andy's even faster than Benders, who ran last time.
Andy, modest lead. He won't go there. Colin Burns takes the ball, 1-0.
I don't think he's going this time either.
Yeah, the lead is still extremely modest, and he'll stay home there. 2-0 now to Burns. Now, even if you were thinking about going, I feel like 2-0, you turn that off as a thought. If it gets to 2-1, maybe even a hit and run. He goes, shows how much we know, and he will be safe there. I go back to your point earlier, though. Junior high strategy sometimes is a little different than what you think about at the high school level.
I can pretty much with confidence suggest that Andy's not been thrown out the only base hit this year.
That also changes your mindset a little bit, too.
High odds. Otherwise, that's probably against the odds kind of a play.
Burns will take the 3-0 for a strike. Now 3-1. Still a great hitter's position for Colin. Burns flies that one into left field. That one is deep and gone. A home run for Colin Burns. Potters up 11-0. We knew the Potters had home run power, and you saw it right there with Colin Burns going deep.
Well, you can tell how hard he's hit the ball twice today, because a lot of balls look like they've hit pretty hard. They didn't get anywhere near the fence. He hit one off the fence and now one over. It's the 15th home run. We're being told it's the 15th home run of the year for the Potters. And I think they've got 7 guys that hit him, which is even more unique.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the 15 is spectacular. The fact that 7 guys hit him might be an even better stat.
Well, and you know, when you get to state tournament play, everybody knows you got to have pitching, and that's still true. But teams that win state championships score runs too.
Yes. Yeah.
And you know, our state championship in 2018, we were playing Chicago St. Ignatius. We had 26 home runs as a team by 9 players. They had 2 or 3 total for the season. And that's just a big difference. When you get a little lead against them, they don't have the firepower to bounce back. And so the Potters' strength is not just pitching; it's also the ability to hit the ball a long ways and put runs on the board.
No, I think that's a great point, right? One swing isn't going to change the game if you don't have home run power. But if you do, you know, what if it was 2-1 when that ball goes out, right? You make a huge play. Cam will ground that one to third, and throw to first is high, but first baseman comes down with it. Nice play over there at first base by Jackson Steffen.
He's tall, man. Nice play. Colin Burns has got to enjoy hitting in front of Cam, because you don't want to walk. You don't want to put anybody in base.
That's a very good point, too.
So he gets a lot of fastballs and hit that one hard. Cam, on the other hand, gets a lot of curveballs.
You say, you know, whoever is hitting between those two, whoever's hitting third definitely has the better outlook. Mm-hmm. Although, as we said, Cam has had a spectacular year. Owen Adams had a great year, too, and continues it with a base hit up the middle.
His second consecutive hard line drive single.
Owen Adams just had one of the best jumps I think I've ever seen on a stolen base. Like, he literally looked like he got a sprinter start there.
I mentioned before, Camden or Owen rather is a pretty savvy player, and if the pitcher isn't looking over to first, which he's not, then you don't.
So Owen at second now. Camden Taylor at the plate. It'll be 1-1 here.
In a different situation, I don't expect to hear, but a different situation, Owen can steal third base if he wanted to. The pitcher just looks back one time, every time, and pitches.
Here comes the pitch. That one is down, 2-1.
I can tell you for a fact that Coach Crawford and the Potter staff did not really expect this to be the way this game went. I mean, they're very happy that it is, but I expected this to be a little tougher.
Well, you said it, right? I mean, these teams have played twice. Potter's won both, but relatively low scoring games each of those first two times. There's a strike in there, so we have full count to Taylor here. 3-2, 2 outs. Adams on second. Potter's up 11-0 here in the top of the fourth inning. There's the line and the pitch, and that'll be strike three. Again, when he finds his curveball, he's really effective.
Yeah, but think about it, that was a 3-2 curveball.
That's very gutsy.
You don't see that in junior high.
Very gutsy.
That's his out pitch.
Yeah, but again, I go back to when he finds it, he's effective. Thankfully for the Potters, he hasn't found it enough to be as effective as obviously if you were a Spartan fan, you would have hoped.
He probably hasn't thrown it enough. I mean, that's the pitch that nobody's really hit yet at all.
Also, maybe the mindset is let Cam face 1, 2, 3, and then maybe Alex will finish this thing.
Yeah,
in the fifth.
I'm trying to figure out what the thinking is, because they sent him down there to warm up, and the only thing I can think of, like I said before, was maybe they want him to get some innings, because I don't think Cam is anywhere near a pitch count concern for next Friday. But there's a lot of things they could be thinking.
Yeah, and again, we as coaches obviously try to think what would we be doing, but obviously we don't have the totality of knowing all the details that Coach Crawford and the staff do at this point.
Yep.
But again, if I say if the Potters win, because I'm that much of a superstitious person, but it's obviously looking pretty good for them right now. Their next game will be at 4:30 Friday at Eastside Center, and see if I can double check as that one is grounded toward third base. We'll get by McKee there. Tough play to be made. It was right down the line.
So that's that breaks up the perfect game in the no-hitter.
Yeah.
So there goes that. But he's off the end of the bat a little bit, but just got right down the third baseline, and nothing they can do about it.
So the winner of this game, which again looks like it's going to be the Potters, will take on the winner of the Champaign Edison versus Normal Kingsley.
Kingsley's got a good team.
Yeah. Correct. Yeah. So again, you never know anything could happen, but Potters are in a great position to be there. It's been a while since the Potters have been in the state tournament junior high level. I think it's the current high school seniors, like Mac Anderson's class, I think was the last group to play in an IESA state finals.
Part of the issue was last year there wasn't a tournament.
That is true, because they almost certainly would have been there. I think we could say that with a lot of confidence.
But it takes a lot. A lot of things have to go right to even make it to state, much less to win a state championship. A lot of stuff has to happen the right way. A lot of really good teams don't make it there. He's got a huge lead.
And I mean, really, you think about back to 2012 and 2013, Coach Crawford's first couple of years, and I was still helping coach junior high at that time, when we made it back-to-back years, finished first once, finished second once, just how fortunate we were, to be there. I remember the first year, we almost lost the opener. It took 11 innings to win the regional semifinal game, but then we're holding up a state tournament trophy, 5 games later.
Yep. A lot of state championship runs, you can look back and find a game like that where just about got beat. Our state championship in 2018, we were down 2-1 to Bloomington in the fifth inning.
Yeah, that's another good one.
In the first game of the regional.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it was regional championship.
Maybe it was the regional. It was EP. You played EP,
yeah,
right?
It's regional championship.
Yeah, it's regional championship.
Well, and I've always said winning a state championship in baseball is just a little different, maybe even a little harder than, say, football, for example. The example I give is you have to, what if you...
That is going to be strike 3. Throw is going to be a little late, but so...
finish my point.
Yeah.
It's like you have to use 3 different quarterbacks. You have to change them every game.
Yeah.
That's because the pitching matchups
right.
So
no,
much.
I think that's a great way of describing it, right? Like, I mean, your starting 11 guys on offense in football are going to be the same unless somebody gets hurt or something happens, right? For baseball, your most important player might be different the next game.
Yes, absolutely. I'm just trying to think what's going on the mound out there. My first thought was maybe he's going to make a pitching change, but he's actually not. Just got to probably remind them that maybe the hitter at the plate is the guy you want to keep off of second base.
Yeah, I think that's a great point.
He's the run to get you out of
the run rule. Yeah. So we'll give a quick recap. I guess got a text from Coach Myers. He's just tuning in. So Potter's up 11-0 here. We're actually in the bottom of the fourth. Potter's are the visitors according to the coin toss. So Potter's up 11-0. Just started hot. 5 runs in the first and have slowly added runs each inning since then. Cameron Crawford on the mound has been extremely effective. Only allowed 1 hit to this point.
Runner on second base and 1 out now. 0-1 pitch.
Here comes the pitch, and that one is going to be a strike.
Another pitch right there. He'll have to be sitting down. That was an excellent fastball right in the outside corner. Very difficult pitch to hit.
Signal comes from the dugout here. Cam will check the runner at second. Check him twice. Wind and deliver. That one is grounded right back to Cam. He's got a shot to get the lead runner. He'll go to third, and he will get him. So a little over-aggressive running by the Spartans, and Cam heads up play, retires the lead runner. Here we'll have 2 outs in the bottom of the fourth.
Yeah, that's a mistake. But then again, when the ball's hit right back to the pitch like that, it's really hard to get back. I mean, that's a very big challenge for the runner at second base. And it kind of, in this situation, you take it out either way.
Yeah.
But you always take the lead runner if you can.
Yeah, I mean, you're never going to feel bad if you get the lead runner, but I think you make a good point, right? 11-0 lead. If he'd gone to first, nobody would have been like, "Oh my gosh, you should have thrown that one to third base and tried to get the lead runner."
Because again, the runner at the plate right now is the one that breaks the 10-run rule.
Yeah.
Not the guy on base. But shutouts are nice too.
Right, shutouts are nice too. Now the Potters will get to hit again on the top of the fifth, which, I mean, as we think about that, they've scored in every inning. You start to think that there's no way they're not going to score in the top of the fifth as well. There's a nice curveball there by Cam. 0-2 now.
It's not 10 after 4.
I believe it's look at this is us not knowing junior high rules again, but I think they will have to play 5.
Okay.
That
I'll know
one,
in a minute.
Yeah, that one is grounded to Alex. He's going to get up with it across the dam. Nice play by McKee. Alex McKee, fantastic there. So we are going to obviously have to play the 5th inning. That answers that question.
You are right. As usual, you are correct.
Well, and I will tell you folks, so when we get, we're an inning away, but when we get to the end of this game, and we're assuming it's going to be in the bottom of the 5th, I'm going to let Coach Wright wrap this up, and I'm going to have to go back upstairs to read the end of the game announcements.
Okay.
So
you got multiple jobs today.
Yes, since I'm doing double duty as both broadcaster and PA announcer, but since we moved the broadcast down to field level, let's call it that. We moved the broadcast down field level, and I just got a text from somebody that also said much nicer picture than through 2 screens. So I think the payoff there has been positive. But since we're in that situation, that means that as the game ends, I will be jogging, not sprinting, jogging upstairs to do that. I could probably even walk, to be honest. Going to be Alex McKee leading off for the Potters here. So again, Potters up 11-0. We're in the top of the 5th. And again, it's the postseason and opportunities to play at the state tournament are extremely rare. So folks, if you are looking at the possibility of being able to show up and show up there for the game on Friday at 4:30, just please consider doing that if you're available.
So what does the schedule look like in the state tournament? If you happen to win on Friday, what happens?
So then you're going to play. So it is the classic 8-team state tournament. So you will play 2 on Saturday. If you win, no matter what, because you would even if you lost the semifinal, you would play the 3rd place game. So the Potters are in a situation where they would play 4:30 Friday, and then the noon. So it would be the second, would be the noon semifinal on Saturday. And then the state championship is scheduled for 4:30 with the 3rd place game before that, obviously at 2:30. I mean, my experience when we were there in 2012 and 13 is it seems like everything's about a half hour to 45 minutes later after those first 2 games than what's listed on the schedule.
You've got trophy presentations and everything else.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit more that has to be accomplished.
Yeah. Here comes the pitch to McKee. That one is fouled off down the right side.
You're ready, bud. Let's go.
Well, the hindsight's always 20/20, and like you said, the coaches have not only game knowledge, but what they see at practice every day. But so far, this pitcher's just been a lot more effective for them than the guy that started the ball game.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. I mean, I always wonder as a coach when that happens, you start to kick yourself, but then you start to wonder, well, was he also more relaxed because he wasn't pitching in the pressure situation to start the
Sure,
game?
sure.
That's what I tell myself when I feel like I made that mistake, at least.
Well, and these are not baseball machines. They're young men that have good days and bad
Yeah.
days. And I'm sure that Bab, who started the game, has had a good season and earned the right to be on the mound for this sectional championship game.
No, absolutely. I mean, and that's going to be, and again, I think the biggest difference is Alex swings and misses at the curveball. The biggest difference with Simon Malcolm versus Babs is, again, we've talked about it a bunch. We're going to sound like broken records, but it's the curveball. I mean, the effectiveness of throwing the curveball for a strike changes a pitcher's abilities so much.
And other than a stretch for 3 or 4 hitters, he's really thrown strikes.
Sammy here at the plate. He'll check swing. That one will be called a strike.
Fastball on the outside corner. Wasn't a pitch you really wanted to hit.
There is the ground ball towards short. Shortstop gloves it across the diamond, and that was a really nice play.
Made it look easier than it was. That's same guy made the play at second,
Yeah, it's
right?
Eli McCanacue.
Yep.
He made the play at second when he was playing second, line drive, diving catch, and now he shifts over to short and makes a nice play. I mean, he's had a very solid defensive day.
Isaac Davis going to get in a bat here. There's that curveball again.
There's the curveball, and it drops in. I mean, that's a tough pitch. Isaac getting that bat here, 7th grader playing up with the 8th graders this year. I think he had a really good year for the 7th graders, and then obviously he's gotten the call late. He floats that one towards second base, and that'll be caught there. What changes, if any changes are made from Coach Crawford here? So he's I think Isaac Davis is gonna stay in the game defensively. Cam is gonna go back to the mound to try to finish it.
Mm-hmm. That's the only change we see is Isaac Davis going to first base. I don't think you'll see a lot of changes here.
Yeah.
Again, this is postseason, and you want to get this thing over with.
Yeah, no, I mean, and again, it may sound silly to an extent, but you almost are playing it like you only have a 2-run lead because you don't want to let them get the game continued and break the 10-run rule. So even though you have an 11-run lead, in your mind it really is almost like it's 1-0 and we can't give up the lead.
Well, and as a coach, you do want all your guys to get a chance to play, especially in postseason. It's neat, but you just can't take. This is not the time to give guys innings. This is time to close it out and move on to state.
No, I'm with you 100%. I think it's absolutely what I would be doing as well.
And when you get to this level, 8th grade junior high baseball, there's a postseason tournament for a reason.
Yes.
This is what, and so it's not it's no longer like a summer little league game or whatever.
Yeah.
This is what you kind of play for, and so you play it like you're here to win.
So we're going to have 5, 6, 7 up for the Spartans. This is Landon Gray who will lead off.
Powders are 3 outs away from a sectional championship with an 11-0 lead in the 5th inning.
I feel pretty good about that, and being 27-1 on the season overall, which is, I mean, the 2012 team that I was talking about earlier was 25-0. I mean, obviously a great record, but the total wins, this group has them by 1 right now, and trying to beat them by a couple.
Well, I don't have the numbers, but over the last 2 years, the 7th and 8th grade teams combined, I know they've lost 2 games total. 80 or something, 80 something.
Yeah.
In 2.
Last year there was 1 7th grade loss. This year there was 1 8th grader loss, and that's it. So, I mean, you start to think about that one's a bit high.
It's an exciting time to be part of the Potters baseball family and program.
It is.
At the varsity level, we've got a lot of young players we think are going to be really good this year, and we got good guys coming as well.
Absolutely. Here comes the 1-2, and that one is strike 3. So Cam sets down Landon Gray. Here's Eli McCanacue. Like I said, he's had a great day defensively.
Cam's been very efficient, thrown a lot of strikes, hasn't thrown a lot of baseballs, because he hasn't thrown a lot of balls. He's been able to get in and out, even though he's striking guys out. He's not taking a lot of pitches to do it.
Cam will take a deep breath and fire that one in there.
Just
misses. But I mean, really, you can't complain. It's almost exactly where you want him to throw it.
Sure. Those won't always be called strikes, and that's okay.
Winds and delivers there. That one is up high, but he swings in, so 1-1.
Probably gave us a little bit of a break there. I think that's probably going to be ball 2. You think about things like taking a strike or being less aggressive. Well, you're down 11 runs.
I mean,
you're down 2. That's one thing.
Yeah, I know. I think you're exactly right on that. I think what are you really trying to accomplish? You'd be like, well, we just want to get 2 runs and keep the game going. But ultimately, if we want to get back in the game, we got to swing the bat. So you let him swing it, and you know what? It might work against you, but if you're Dunlap and you're down 11, be aggressive. That one is down low, 2-2.
Oh, that's a good pitch. It's a really good pitch. I don't know how that missed. I don't know how he took it.
You say that's my thing. Like that, sometimes I'm more impressed with the take than complaining about the call. Like, how do you not swing at that? He'll swing at that one though, and it'll be strike 3.
Down to 1 out now. 11-0 Potters lead in the
Here
bottom
is
of the 5th.
Jackson Steffen. Yeah. I'll head up. Yep. No, we're good. Craig will wrap it up, and then I'll.
Ryan's talking to Principal Chris Carter about the post-game activities.
Well, we're very excited. Like I said, I'm just so important here at Morton Junior High.
So he's the press box announcer, the YouTube announcer, and the technician director.
Yeah, and I do appreciate everybody hanging with us. We recovered the web stream, and we've been good since we did that. I appreciate everybody who's tuned in. It's been fantastic, and Potters are hopefully on the way after a couple more pitches. That one will be fouled off, so 1 strike away now. Potters on the way to a state tournament appearance.
It almost doesn't feel like the excitement level is probably lower than you would expect, only because the game is so lopsided.
The 5 in the top of the first, it's almost like you assumed it from the get-go, but let's make it official right here. That one is just outside, 2-2.
Seems like getting the 3rd strike in a situation like this can be so hard sometimes.
So again, Potters trying to punch their ticket to the state quarterfinals. Cameron Crawford winds, and there it is, strike 3. Potters are going to the state tournament after an 11-0 win. Coach Crawford gives Cam a hug, and Coach, right up, you wrap it up. Yes. Head upstairs and announce the trophy.
I'll say a few more words kind of talking about this victory, and then we'll just let you listen to the ceremonies post game here. Again, the Potters are sectional champions going to the Elite 8 in the state tournament at the East Side in East Peoria this Friday night. I believe he said 4:30 will be the first game. We do not know the opponent yet, but a outstanding victory for the Potters today. Played good baseball from the beginning, took the lead with 5 runs in the first inning and never looked back. We don't have stats in front of us, but I'm going to guess we had at least a dozen hits. And the big blow is probably a off-the-wall double by Colin Burns and a home run by Colin Burns. So I'm going to be quiet now and let you listen to Ryan do the postseason ceremonies.
Class 3A baseball sectional flag. We would like to recognize both teams for their exceptional play throughout their seasons. Today's sectional final was a well-played, hard-fought ball game. Congratulations to Dunlap Valley Middle School, which ends its season with a 16-4 record. Congratulations to the Spartans on an outstanding season. Now, let's meet the Junior Potters of Morton High School, who are your sectional champions. The Junior Potters improved now to 27-1 on the season. We invite the Morton captains to please step forward to receive your sectional plaque. Congratulations. The Junior Potters will advance to the IASA State Tournament on October 1st at East Peoria's Eastside Center for a 4:30 first-round game versus the winner of the Muhammad Seymour Sectional. Thank you, everyone, for attending today's game. Trash cans are available and are located around the park. Please place all your garbage in these trash cans. We appreciate your assistance in this matter, and please drive home safely.
So that wraps it up. Potters, again, 11-0 sectional champions over Dunlap Valley. Again, Potters will play Friday afternoon at 4:30 at Eastside Center in East Peoria in the first round of the state tournament. So I'm going to turn the sound down and let you just watch the festivities, and then thank you very much for joining. Hopefully this was a good place to broadcast from, and thanks for your support. The Potters baseball program appreciates you.